Number one thing people say about why it's uncomfortable to wear a mask is that it's hard to breathe in them. So here's a few tips that might help you to breathe a little easier while wearing a mask. So when most of us have trouble breathing, we try harder to pull air in through our mouth. And this makes sense, right? It's a lot bigger than our nose, so we can pull a lot more air in. But there's a couple of problems with this. And so I'm gonna show you why actually breathing through your nose and focusing on that when you're wearing a mask can really help. So when you pull in air through your mouth, you're basically using your emergency muscles to breathe. So the breath, even though there's a lot of it, it goes a lot shallower. It tends to stay sort of up here in the chest area. And as a result, everything tenses up, the breath doesn't go as deep, your breathing rhythm is gonna speed up, and as a result, you're not only gonna get maybe a little less oxygen, but you're gonna feel that panic sensation start, that feeling of hyperventilation. So your nose, when you breathe through your nose, it's actually a lot more relaxed. And when you breathe through your nose, you're basically telling your body, hey, everything's okay. It's not an emergency. And because of how efficient it is, even though you're getting maybe less volume of breath, it's gonna drop deeper, it's gonna move slower. And so you're not gonna feel as out of breath. You're gonna feel a lot calmer, and you might even get more air in the first place. The other issue with breathing through your mouth while wearing a mask has to do with the mask itself. And really simply, when you exhale, at the bottom of your exhale, it creates a little vacuum. And as air comes in, it sucks the mask into your mouth, and it has that smothering effect that really doesn't feel good. When you breathe through your nose, because your nostrils are facing down, especially if you have a mask like this that has a little space at the front, which I highly recommend. Thanks, Mom, for making me this one. There's enough room that the mask actually doesn't get sucked into your nose, and as a result, the air moves much more freely. It feels a lot better. So let's try this out and see how it feels for you. If you have a mask, you can put it on and really see how this works practically. So I want you to start just by breathing out through your mouth for a couple breaths. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and feel how hard your breathing's working, especially here. This is the part of the body associated with hyperventilation. And it really doesn't feel very good. Now switch to breathing in through your nose. Keep it easy. And notice what's that like. Does it feel calmer? Do you feel your breath dropping deeper? Is it more comfortable? So tip 2 has to do with focusing on your exhale rather than your inhale. And it's very counterintuitive, because if you feel short of breath, you're gonna wanna try to pull air in. But that's a trap, because when you do that, it's gonna activate those emergency muscles we talked about, and your breath is gonna be a lot shallower. You'll actually get less, the rhythm will speed up, you'll feel that sensation of panic. The key to getting a good inhale is to focus on your exhale. Keeping those long will help your inhale be slower, deeper, and more full. So let's give this one a try. We're gonna start by focusing on trying to breathe in. So let's start with your nose, since we found in the last tip that that's the best way to do it. So breathe in, and breathe out, and keep trying to pull air in. You might notice how loud my breathing is like this. And when it feels effortful, and once again, I get a little bit of that sensation of panic. So let's switch to the other way. Focus on breathing out. Let the inhale do itself. Breathe out. Let the inhale do itself. Breathe out. Let the inhale do itself. And notice you feel calmer. You don't feel that sensation of not having enough air to breathe. So this last tip is less technical and more psychological, because one thing I want to acknowledge is that even if these first 2 tips helped, it might not be perfectly comfortable for you to wear a mask. So this last tip is really a way to help you manage some of that discomfort so it doesn't matter and that you can be safe. So, when we are having trouble breathing, it's pretty natural to focus on the point of inhale and exhale, so the nose or the mouth, and we can get hyper-focused on that. And the issue with that is that when we become hyper-focused on an area where we're having trouble, it can intensify the sensation, which makes it less comfortable. So really simply, if you're having trouble breathing in the mask, zoom out, expand your attention outward, and particularly drop the sensation of your breath down. Now, it's really popular to talk about belly breathing when we talk about breathing, and that's perfectly good. I hope that works for you if it's something that you connect to, and I think it can help in this situation. I'd like to add to that a really effective thing to do is actually to feel the sensation of your breath in your back and in your lower back. And there's a couple reasons why this is helpful, one of which is about 60% of our breath capacity is in the back. So if we invite there to be more room for breathing back there, we're gonna get a lot deeper breath there. And also, if we have a little bit of focus there, it can feel really anchoring. It's almost like our breath is tethered to that area. And if we feel the gentle movement of your ribs down there, everything can get a little bit easier. So let's give this a try. So first, just breathe in, focusing on your nose, your mouth, wherever you're breathing in. And notice how that feels. Now take your hands and you can put your thumbs sort of along your back ribs down here, and your pinky finger should almost be resting on the crest of your pelvis. That's a good way to sort of find this space. And don't work too hard to breathe in. Try to follow our second tip where you're really focusing on the exhale, but as you breathe out, feel that there's a little bit that lets go, that your ribs are allowed to relax. As you breathe in, feel the swing of your ribs under your hands. Breathe out, feel this place relax. Breathe in, feel the swing under your hands, and now let your hands go and see if you can keep some of that awareness, some of that sensation of the ribs relaxing and expanding with your breath. And notice if that helps you be a little less focused on any negative sensation you have here. So I hope this helped. You might find these tips are useful even when you're breathing without a mask. If you want to explore breathing a bit more with me, I have another video on this channel, 2 breathing exercises that really works with this idea of exhaling. And you might find that really useful just to relax right now. I also encourage you to check some of the other videos on this channel that focus on releasing your body so that your breath can drop deeper. All of those things can help you when you try to breathe while wearing a mask. And if you want to learn how to be a little more breathable in your body and mind, you can also study with me online or in person in Chicago. Visit freedominmotionat.com to check out our programs as well as other resources like blogs, follow us on Facebook, all that stuff. So thanks for joining us. I hope you have a good day.